Every day gets a little bit easier as you go. You figure things out, and if you have a will to just be patient and allow those things to work themselves out. Life is a roller coaster sometimes, but there's a lot of happy times ahead. My name's Cherie and I'm from Indianapolis, and I live currently here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I was in a motorcycle accident in 1987. Basically, my arm got caught in like a barbed wire fencing, and they had to amputate right above the elbow. Had multiple injuries. I was in the hospital for about a week or so.
So let's talk about, it's 1987.
Yes.
There's no Google. There's no YouTube.
True.
What do you do? What does a patient do in 1987 laying in a hospital bed for a week?
Well, you know, you're trying to figure out how you're going to maneuver through life now with one arm. I mean, things are going to change. I don't think the doctor knew of any prosthetic people readily. He just said she'll need to find a prosthetist and go from there. So basically you're looking in the phone book and you're seeing what's out there, you know, and that's what we did. The person that helped me find a prosthetic company was my mom. She was the person that was my rock. She was right there beside me. She wanted the best for me. And so she looked around, called people to find a person that could give me the most technology and the best prosthesis that I could get. Going home was difficult because I just didn't know how to do things. For one, it was my dominant arm, so now I had to learn how to do things left-handed. But going home was difficult because then it really sunk in, you know, I'm gonna have to just figure this out. Some of the things that I had to encounter just the few months after getting out of the hospital, my mom wanted me to just go right back into life. Like I was getting ready to go to college, and she said, "You're going. You're just going to get back into the groove. You're not going to sit at home and pout about this, you know." So I had to get somebody to take notes for me in school. I enrolled in school. I didn't have a prosthesis yet. I had to figure out how to drive one-handed. I had a stick shift. We had to get rid of that. There were a lot of things that I had to just figure out how to do things one-handed, basically, for a little while until I had a prosthesis. Self-image for me, mentally, I felt blessed to be alive because the person I was riding on the motorcycle with passed away. So immediately I felt like I'm here for a reason. I'm going to make the best of this. I'm so happy that I lived through this, and whatever happens from here on out, we'll just take it one day at a time. So mentally, that's how I felt. Physically, when I saw myself in the mirror, that was hard. That was a hard part for me. It took a really long time for me because I think women want to view themselves as pretty, and sometimes I didn't feel like I was pretty when I looked in the mirror because I was missing my arm. And honestly, it probably wasn't until about 10 years ago, I really just was like, I'm just gonna go out in public without it because it's more comfortable. Sometimes when it's really hot out or something like that, I don't want to wear it. So I just had to get past it, and I do go out in public without it, and I don't care what people think anymore. That's who I am. So I went to school to be an x-ray tech, and I thoroughly looked into that profession before I did it, and I shadowed people, and I thought, I think this is a job that I can do. So I went to school for that and became an x-ray tech. There were things maybe that I couldn't do exactly like other people, but I figured out ways around it. I became a CT tech, so I do CAT scans now. I do have some things that are more difficult because I start IVs. I push gurneys around at the hospital with IV poles, and with the prosthesis, has helped me tremendously to do all of those things. I have to wear it at work because I use it all the time. So my dealings with Prosthetics has been great. I deal with Mike. He's had a lot of knowledge with above elbow amputees, and has really, I feel like that's key in getting the right person to understand your needs and what you want. And he listened to everything that I wanted, changed some things around. I was having a lot of back and neck pain with my other prosthesis, and he worked very hard, long hours, and getting the right configuration of harness so I didn't have the weight on my neck and shoulders. And my pain is gone now, and I literally cried when I told him that I had no more pain anymore from how he configured my prosthesis. So Perry's Prosthetics has been great for me. Every day gets a little bit easier as you go. You figure things out, and if you have a will to just be patient and allow those things to work themselves out, and it will. It takes time to heal. It takes time to get over phantom pain. And those are all just things. Life is a roller coaster sometimes, but there's a lot of happy times ahead. And there are some times where it's very frustrating, but that's life. Life is that way. I mean, you know, sometimes you roll with the punches, and you just have to get back up and deal with what you have.